it's best if we talk about our goals or objectives with respect to estate planning. And these goals and objectives may not be unique to planning for real estate. But since, as you know, real estate's a unique asset, it has unique challenges. And we believe that some of these goals are even more important when dealing with real estate. So throughout our presentation, we'll try not to read too much to you because it's really there's a ton of information and examples and useful tidbits in here. But this slide in particular, I think, kind of lays out the framework for what we're trying to achieve. So good estate planning for real estate relates to probate avoidance and the expenses associated with that, disability, Medicaid, end-of-life planning, asset or creditor protection planning, liquidity for expenses associated with real estate, charitable intent of your clients, business succession issues that may overlap with real estate, pre or post-nuptial agreements, all of the tax implications of real estate, whether it be gift, estate, or income tax or otherwise, issues with blended families, and then preserving assets for beneficiaries who might be disabled, minors, spendthrifts, substance abuse issues, et cetera.
So James, another way maybe of saying the same thing of what are our estate planning goals is how can we help the client prevent loss of real estate during their lifetime, during disability, and after they've passed away. We want to prevent real estate from falling into the wrong hands. So fees and probate is a potential loss, and it tends to be one that gets the most attention. We have to remember that avoiding probate is not the only goal, and your client is also going to fixate on that. But there are other potential losses like creditors of your client, creditors of your client's potential beneficiaries. What about an ex-spouse? That real estate could fall into the wrong hands of an ex-spouse or an estranged or extended family member that your client never intended to have that property. Or it might suddenly come into ownership of a minor child who can then inherit and take that property at age 18. They're usually spendthrifts. We know that minor children, when they turn age 18, are probably not equipped to make wise budgeting choices. So we're trying to prevent loss of real estate from being, spent. Also, we don't want to jeopardize a disabled person who's on government assistance. We don't want to make them ineligible for that assistance and having them inherit. So that is another potential loss. Fraudsters, we've covered a lot in our webinar today about fraudsters. Elder abuse, caretakers is a big one. We also want to prevent loss of real estate from falling into the hands of government. So I joke with my clients, nobody wants to name the government as a beneficiary on their estate plan, but the government can take in many ways. They can take through various types of taxes. They're even in the intestacy statute if there are no living relatives, and they might take through Medicaid liens. We want to prevent loss of real estate to squatters or even accidental disinheritance. So we're going to get into that later.